Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here. Today, I have a solo playthrough for Sfynx. This one is a fully cooperative game of 1 to 4 players from Shadi Torbey's publishing house Impatience. Different designer, however, a game that folds into the Oniverse ethic of something that is quick and offers little strategic bites to satisfy. In this particular case, it is a tile manipulation game. We are going to be using our powers to switch tiles, flip them back and forth, all the while trying to complete these goal cards, which are riddles of the Sfynx. We will have access to our base powers as well as some special powers that will disappear and reappear as we go. Also having access to the occasional more powerful one-shot. We have to complete this deck of 9 riddles before time runs out. And so after some channel announcements, let's get into the tile manipulation game Sfynx. A brief overview before we jump right in. This one's a fairly light rule set. Here is the star of the show, this central board of 5x5 tiles. They are double-sided and all of the sides are the same. There is a dark side and a light side. The only difference being you can't make matches with the dark side. You have to manipulate things so that when you're making your match, they have to be all on the light side. So here are the riddles that you are trying to solve. I have 3 cards out here and another pile of 6 to make 9 total. Got to empty this pile and solve all 9 riddles in order to win. So it go from easy. So this is only 3 symbols. And then at a level 2, then I won't be able to use a wild. I'll show you that in a little bit. Going up 4 and then ultimately 5, which is pretty difficult, making all 5 symbols match. I'm starting on the game's easiest mode just for ease of camera shooting. Believe me, there is plenty more challenge in this game if you want it. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the first round of the game. I noticed that there are 3 tiles that are relatively close together that match up with this level 1 goal. So let's see if I can make that happen in 1 round. In a round of Sfynx, you get 3 actions. Everyone will have access to their basic tiles, and then you will have access to a common pool of tiles if you're playing the cooperative. In the solo, you just have access to all the tiles. But if you use one of these 4 powers in a turn, then you have to flip it over and wait a couple of rounds for it to regenerate. So you get 3 actions total, 2 and 1. For the basic actions, they're both pretty simple. I can either swap the position of 2 tiles, or I can flip 1 tile from dark side to light side. So if I'm going for this riddle, then I see the 3 tiles that I need. 1, 2, 3. And don't know if I mentioned that they are unique. So there's not multiple copies of these. You have to focus on whichever tile that the riddle calls for. However, it would be quite the pain in the butt to get that tile all the way dragged here, given my limited resources. So the game provides some flex room there with the wild tiles. Here is the Sfynx. There are 3 of them around. They're very, very useful. I'll show you how. So I'm going to execute 1 action, which enables me to do 1 of the flips, and that is going to be right there. Let me go ahead and do another action for a vertical flip, and then that is going to allow me to position that right there. Look at that. I got a this little fire, I guess that's fire, sure, and butterfly, and this would be this little fish thing, but I have the wild. So I have 1 more action left. I have these tiles, which are modular. They'll change from game to game. I can do that as my final action, which is to uncover or lightify 2 tiles. So we got 1 and 2, and I have achieved this riddle. Yay! I am 1 out of 9, the easiest one, so it'll get a little bit harder, but this one was right there for me. In addition to getting the riddle, I can choose one of these 3 cards, and I have that as a reward. It is a free action. It's a more powerful version of what is available. So let's go ahead and take this one. This will allow me to kind of slide tiles along the way. So I like having that in reserve. I get another one. Oh, another one of these horizontal jammies. And I can use this at any time. I use it and then discard it from the game. So here is an example of level 2 as I saw. So now you saw that the Sfynx is wild. That just means that I can't use any wilds. And the limitation on even a card like this, where there is no stated limitation, I can only use one wild per riddle. That would be unfair if you could just use multiple. Anyway, so I solved one. So then all cards would shift over. So if I'd solved this one, then I have to shift them over a little bit. And then I get another one, which is another level 1. So this is the bot turn. In solo, you're just going to play all 12 turns by yourself. If you're playing cooperative, then you divvy up those turns. It's always going to be 12. The bot phase is very simple. You are simply going to take the top tile and then execute it. In this particular case, it is the whirlwinds. Whirlwinds will depend on which side of the tile this is. I'm on this side of the tile where it will attack the riddle row. And it does so twice because there are 2 whirlwinds on the token. So if I was planning on doing these riddles, well, that is too bad. So we take both of those riddles, we return them to the bottom of the deck, and then the game deals out a couple more. Not too devastating because I wasn't totally planning on stuff, but for those of you who would set stuff up, well, that's what the bot does. It'll either attack the riddles or it'll mess with the field of play a little bit, turn things over that you didn't want turned over, shift things around. And then that's it. On to the next turn. That should give you everything you need to know to play Sfynx. Let's get into it. All right, so now we've hit round 2. A couple of last little rules to mention. First of all, I did a horizontal match. I could also do vertical matches. I won't do one this round, but you might see that. In addition, I have 2 more turns in this section of the board. Once I do those 2 turns, that is how I awaken these tiles again. So I'm going to be using 1 and then 1, and then it'll refresh. All right, so I am going to go after one of the newly revealed riddles, another easy one, which is a mixed blessing because you don't want to have too many easy ones down. Then you're stuck with a bunch of hard ones. However, solving enough riddles early gives you access to a number of these reward cards. So you can have 3 maximum, and you need every single one of them. So hopefully it isn't going to be too much of a pain doing these low ones. I'll be able to get stuff done. Anyway, so I'm going to use this one, which allows for a diagonal swap of tiles. Let's go ahead and move that right there. I'm not going to flip these every single time, but just for illustration's sake, let's go ahead and reveal these 2 for my 2 basic actions. And I have matched the riddle of this level 1, which allows me to get another reward card, stacking them up, baby. This will allow me to make 3 swaps. When I make swaps, they can be anywhere on the board, so that's pretty powerful. And let's see what I get next. It is, if a card has a ban of a wild, then I can undo that ban. So there's a couple of level 2s with this card's name on it. So let's go ahead and check out what I get. Another level 2. And that is the bot's turn. So it will take all of the Sfynxes, whatever row they're on, and do a slide. So this is a little bit inconvenient. I have 3 Sfynxes, so I'm going to execute 3 slides. I always have 3 Sfynxes. Even if they're in the same row, you have to do the slide the number of times that the Sfynx requires. We have to move a lot of things out of the way in order to accommodate this move, which is Poopityville, but it is how it goes. On to round 3. So here is the essence of the game, doing your riddles, but also setting yourself up for the next riddle in tandem. So I'm going to go for this one, and I'm confident that I can do it this turn, but I can also set myself up to get the tiles closer together and knock this one out if the game doesn't do too many shenanigans. That requires using a reward card. That's fine because you'll get them back. The game wants you to use them. So this card says that I can do a shift and also a shift in any order that I choose. So let's go ahead and do this shift and get this tile closer to that area. That's fine. And then I'm going to do a horizontal shift, which gets these tiles down there. Now I'm going to use a personal power, which is going to let me shift again. 1, 2, 3. Look at me playing with tiles. And I should note that I'm spending a decent amount of time off camera thinking about the move. You're only seeing me executing the move. Believe me, after every single turn, you're going to want to stare at this thing and figure out what you're going to do. And so that was 2 special actions. The one off of the reward card, one off of my tile. And then I'm going to spend these 2 to light these 2 up. I have crab, wheel, and moth. I believe that's a moth. And that is another reward card. And so that's kind of bad news getting rid of all of my ones, but I like the quick strike having all those reward cards available to me. Since there's a bunch of 2s, let's go ahead and bank that as my next reward card. At this point, you've seen all the iterations of what the reward cards can do. Let's go ahead and refill. I have a 2, a 2, and a 3. Doesn't make me too happy, but what are you going to do? And I have, yep, that's what I figured. You get to see the last thing that the boss can do. First of all, let's go ahead and do the tornado effect, which is to take that and replace it with another card from the deck. All right, more 3s. Fantastic. Did it touch the card that I was setting up for? No. So I know that the bot takes from the left side, which is why I didn't set up that card. I was likely to lose it, but I still have this one to strike. And so the other aspect is it tells me to flip a tile. So I flip the tile based on the token where I took it. So then 1, 2, 3, 4. In the 1 section, flip 1 tile. In the 4 section, flip 4. Have most of your stuff done by the 4th section for show. None of the riddles I am looking for require wheels. So let's go ahead and flip wheel down. That is the end of round 3. All right, round 4, things getting a little more difficult. Once again, cutting out a fair amount of thinking time. All right, so I am going to go for this harder one, which is level 3. I am going to do so, first of all, by playing this special tile and uncovering the wild tile and also this star. And then I have 2 regular actions, which I'm going to use both of them to move that one right there, that one right there. And I am so close. You see that I have the wild, which is meant for the tier, which is all the way over there. But they are out of order. It has to be perfect, and I want to get it this turn. So I am not without options. Let's go ahead and use my reward card to do 1 move, and that lets me get the reward card. Technically, I have to finish the action before I get to collect any rewards. So before I collect that reward, let's go ahead and finish that off. That is 2 movements. That is 3 movements. Guess what that lets me do? 1, 2, 3, 4 is this card. 1, 2, 3 is that card. Got a 3 and a 2. Yes, you can get multiple rewards after an action. And so that lets me replenish from this row. So let's go ahead and take that card. You see how powerful that is. Also, I have that. A lot of my tiles are light right now. So let's go ahead and prioritize movement. This one was fun as well. So here is my hand of 3 cards that I have to work with. 3 cards maximum. Anything beyond that, I have to get rid of, which is why I didn't mind getting rid of all those cards. Ooh. The board is going to strike at me, so I'm going to want these eventually. Name of the game is noticing stuff and executing. It's going to get a lot more difficult now because I have 2 3s out there. Let's see what happens here. Some of the Sfynx movement again. All of my Sfynxes are right side up, which is exactly how I like them. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and fix that. That is all that happens. On to the next round. Once again, plenty of time off camera planning my move. So let's go ahead and do that first. Flip that tile and slide this one over here. And then I think we are going to pop another card. Once again, I can only have 3, so let's go ahead and pop them as freely as I want. So let's go ahead and push that there. And then if I calculated correctly, this little move should help me get the level 3 card next time. If I calculate it correctly. That's a big if. I have 2 regular moves left. We're going to go ahead and flip those. And that satisfies me with this if I use my reward card to turn that into a wild. So that wild replaces, I believe that's a jackal or some kind of moon jackal thing. Bam! I get another reward card. And I haven't gotten hit with too many of the flip light to dark. So let's go ahead and take some insurance against that. the last card in the game. Actually have a pretty good game. So if you want to make a bigger challenge, use higher cards. All right, so let's see what the game does to me. At this point, it is going to flip 2 tiles. Go ahead and flip ice and fire. I don't believe I'm going to need those. And now, because there is no draw pile left, the tornado effect is now going to flip tiles down. So you see that the game kind of escalates in that way. Got to prepare for that. On to round 6. All right, I think I set this up. We shall see. So we're going to use this reward card to get some double sliding going. Remember, I can do that in any order I want. I need, for this card right there, I need that little squid, jellyfish. Okay, jellyfish, something like that. So let's go down there. How many jellyfish were plaguing the Egyptian pyramids anyway? I have no idea. Maybe there's jellyfish in the Nile. Who knows? Now we are going to use this tile. We'll flip this over, and that means I can move this down. 1 and 2. And I have my basics, so I'm going to turn that 1 basic over. Let's go ahead and check the map, see what else I need turned over. Hey, look at that. That snake looks like it needs to be turned over. That's great. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got jackal, bird. I think that's a bird. We got the substitute for the little pyramid thing and the jellyfish. Bam! Look at that. My streak is alive. Once again, as you can see where the challenge is in the further iterations of the game, if this was level 4, this would have the no wild symbol, so you'd have to do a few more manipulations in order to achieve that. Don't have to do anything to the riddle roll because there's only 2 left. Let's see what happens to me. It is the darkening, so we are still in 2. Let's see what I can darken. We can darken these 2 over here. On to the second half of the game. But before we launch into that, let's go ahead and do some reset stuff. Now, because I had taken that, we can get all of my little toys back. In addition, I don't think I refilled this row last turn, which is, sorry about that. That's always should be 3 in the market. That was this card that came out, which is pretty sweet. And as a reward for doing that last one, I'm going to take this card, which is to swap 2 tiles anywhere on the map. And actually, we are going to use that right now and get another swap in the market. And so let's go ahead and swap those 2. Fantastic. Love it. I've been trying to figure out a way to get this one up. I did have that slide function to get that up here, but you see the last 2 riddles require it, and a lot of those tiles are there. So I was kind of waiting for that. Beautiful. All right, so we got 1, 2. We have this wheel. So this is 2 standard actions. 1, 2. We got 1, 2, 3. No wilds. This barred me from using wilds. That's what I was trying to, the nut I was trying to crack over here. Finally got it. And that one was so powerful, we're going to take that as a reward, and that's going to be the last reward that I get of the game. Yep, you've already seen all these rewards. There's only 1 left. Oops. That is not going to have access to me, although I should just put this away for now, just to let you know that I only have the 1 card left. If I get this, I win. And so I do have 1 more tile action for the turn. I'm going to go ahead and do this diagonal and get all of that laid out for the eventual strike right here. And I have a feeling I know what's going to happen knowing the second half of these games. We have tornado and flip equals 3. So the tornado now means you flip 2 of them. So I'm going to have to darken 5 of these tiles. You see it gets harder as we go on. But I've been preparing. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down here where I am not being bothered. And so to finish off our desert adventure, I imagine we're in the desert, right? We are going to flip 2 darkened tiles. We could flip 3, but we don't need to. All right, so that was the reward. We're going to go ahead and use 2 basic actions. We have moth, we have waves, we have walking turtle pyramid. That's the official title of this one. And we have Sfynx to replace the snake. We have solved the last riddle and won a game of Sfynx. So I did that with plenty of time left, but as I've been saying, there is lots of thinking time before each individual move, setting up the other move, deciphering the new state of the board, etc. For puzzle fans, that really hits what your fun is. In addition, there's also the improved cards in terms of having more symbols and the requirement not to use wilds. You can also change the layout in terms of starting with more darkened tiles and more lightened tiles. I should probably say this, restored or cursed tiles, because we are talking about Egyptian theme here. They love their curses, so that's the official title. But it is definitely a smooth running puzzle. It fits right into that Oniverse-esque experience. If that interests you, then go ahead and check them out. Sfynx, spelled with an F and not a PH. Hope I've given you all the information you need to make a decision about your gaming time and your gaming dollar. So until next time, this is Jason with the One Stop Co-op Shop, reminding you that we'll see you at the next stop.